so good. You get the idea. And the one thing is, do we want to keep his part without the progression?
Androids and lasers.
The other thing, we probably change this, like it's not always Android and lasers, obviously. We kind of build the progression over the vocals as well. So then it's kind of having story. I think the idea was like the robots are invading or something like that. And this more futuristic cyberpunk, if I may so feel. And I'm thinking now this is too clean of a loop. And I want kind of ambient sounds, ambient percussions, and deep percussions to make it even more aggressive. But before going for it, I'm gonna just play through a little bit more if I'm really happy with the progression over here, like decisions that we have. Again, if you put the lines so that we understand a bit more, let's update that. Drop progression or chord progression, chorus, cool down, outro. These are nice. Here will be the arping, big lead, chord progression. Arping will be rather yellow color, big read will be rather this, chord progression will be green, and break drop will be this, chorus will be that, and then will be the groove. Let's take something like maybe this. I will probably have like a Spotify edit for this one. Lately I'm doing it quite a bit with my tracks, having the Spotify edit like these parts. I would consider like starting this track right here, right, and ending probably right here. This will make a track of, I hope, around 4 minutes, 4:15. Good enough, like, and progress the things a bit faster. But I tend to do like make the big version and then just duplicate it on the next, and then add probably a couple of automations that is smoother if I try to like progress a bit faster. And from there we can go. Sometimes you can get away with actually doing a 5 minutes track. In that case, it's not that long. So 5 minutes track still works pretty good in Spotify. And that happens if I do something like this, right? Let me see, this is 5:24. We can get away with single edit. Now I'm considering it because I see the groove. This is probably around 5:55, definitely. We have both options. It's very good. I'm gonna go for this option now, and probably for if we end faster, because DJs also can loop here and loop here 5 times. This may work. I may go for this version actually. Let me listen, and then. And then we go into this.
Androids and lasers.
I wonder if we can bring this in here. But like
Androids and lasers. Androids and lasers. Androids and lasers.
right then we should have a build up. This is an interesting decision that we can take later, but I think idea works. And then we go into progression here. We can make it more dramatic here as well. Yeah, the chord progression comes in. And we can like open up with the cutoff here. We can maybe probably have Reese or something here instead. And vocals here, making it more ambient, a bit riser. And then probably we need a short break here. Maybe not. We can have a nice drop over here.
Androids and lasers.
Like here, I'm thinking more like this, right? We have to automate the sands here as well. We are hearing the sands. We can also, there's one thing that you can do if you are super lazy, if you don't want to automate anything, but if you want everything to be coming from the dark, you can put it here to the master, because sands routes to the master before it goes, right? Let's say we do it here. Right? Then one, it's like a DJ, you are master automating basically. And then you take off. Go into this. Oh, I'm pretty actually happy with the overall arpeggio. It's a bit repetitive if you consider like we are having this fun, everything twice almost. But that is not necessarily a bad thing, I think. A bit repetitiveness is a good idea. And then we probably have this. I wonder if we go here.
Androids and lasers.
What if?
Lasers. Androids and lasers.
I'm thinking like if we go a bit early. Okay, now I messed up a bit here. Let me do it this way. Like when we
Androids and lasers. Androids and lasers. Androids and lasers. Androids and lasers. Androids and lasers.
Now, I have a lot of ideas about the effects and making things richer. Remember that we still wanted to do one more actually stuff over here to answer in between. There are so many things to do to enrich this one. But this is more or less like our backbone for arrangement. Now we don't need to think about, okay, how we can make it a full track because we have the full track now. What we can do now, how we can make this full track sound better, more professional, fuller, without overwhelming it. And that's what we are going to do. Again, remember that I add another arrangement tutorial actually here from another video that I made earlier. That can help also if this looks a bit more confusing. I think it was way earlier when we talked about first time triple top down, but I think they should make it extremely obvious for you why triple top down or double top down in some cases could be helpful to finish more tracks. That is the way I finish my tracks, and if I like the groove and hook, more importantly, I finish almost every time. And this is the main reason. Before we conclude the arrangement, I will also tell when to not start arrangement. Like in this case, I was happy with the lead. I was happy with the ARP. Even though I'm not 100% happy, I'm happy with it. Like 80%. Is there a way to make it better? Maybe. If we change melody a bit, maybe. Maybe yes, maybe no. But overall, I'm happy. With the chord progression, I'm pretty happy with those extra like veil pads that we had. It can definitely make it work. And that big lead sound, I think is a perfect melodic techno sound. It's almost a still fresh idea. So it's not like replicating that laser repeated sound again and again, right? It has its own freshness in it. We went a bit more cliche with the vocals, but I think it's a good idea to show that one also here so that you understand. I may still use kind of LFO leads and so on when we are answering the drop and so on. I don't know yet, but I think it's a good idea to use something like that, or maybe not. You never know. But I was trying to say, before you start with triple tap down menu, make sure that you really enjoy your hook. What will happen now when we work more on this track is actually we are going to get tired of our hooks. We're going to get tired of our arpeggio. We're going to get tired of our chord progression. The main reason is like the more you hear it, the more and more like the same it starts to sound, and the more and more it gets. I would assume that this track at least still needs like 5 hours of work. Like think about the mixing, think about mastering, think about like making every part a bit richer, adding percussions, adding extra like leads, working on transition, working on automations. I would still see myself working on this like 5 hours more. You never know, maybe it ends 3 hours, but sometimes you find the things that sounds right and it just flows through. But sometimes it takes longer. But I will say still 5 hours in the future we need for this track. But overall track flows pretty smoothly, right? And I got lucky for this masterclass at least, that to find the ideas faster and faster than I would otherwise find. But I think there's a good illustration. Now that we're going to do stop here and say this is our arrangement, and then come back and start thinking about what we need to improve each part. Alright, that will be also very fun. Let's continue with that one in the next course.